Guys, welcome back to another salvage auction analysis. I've been doing a lot of these, and on a lot of the cars that we've been watching, we've been just doing that, watching. This is a car that is right up our alley. We're going to be throwing some bids on this thing. It is a beautiful Inferno Orange C6 Grand Sport Corvette. Let's go ahead, dive in. We're going to do our research, and we're going to see if we can win this thing at auction. We'll go ahead and look at the pictures first. We'll go ahead and put this thing in HD view. And what we have is a very, very heavy rear end damage. We'll get to that, but when we're looking at this car for a parts car, because it's not a fixer, we want to identify any issues that we have with the parts that are on the car that we want to resell. Everything in the back end we know is not going to be usable, but we want to take a good look at the front bumper, for example. Is that damage there going to inhibit us from selling a front bumper? Because that's where we need to get the value out of this car, in the front end, in the driveline, in the interior, because again, the rear of the car is completely destroyed. Everything that I'm seeing there just kind of looks like scuffs on the front bumper. This headlight over here is good. The hoods on C6s, we keep like one or two of them, usually in black, just because that's the easiest color to sell. That hood probably will not be kept. The fender here on this side, it is the wide body front fenders. They always sell well, and we always sell them as complete units with the fender liners. That would be for the rear. The fronts, the tubs are separate, which those are sellable as well. You do have the upgraded brakes and the wider wheels. And then, yeah, glance at the back there, and this thing is just whacked in the rear. There is the rear. You can see that that rear fender is just completely destroyed. There's tub damage at the rear. There's frame damage at the rear, which is, again, why this car is definitely not a fixer in my eyes. It definitely is hit kind of high. You can see the exhaust there looks to be in position, which bodes well for the rear end of the car, the actual rear end, the differential, the transmission, the cradle hopefully didn't get moved around too much. But this car being an automatic, there's also not just a ton of value in that rear driveline setup. The manual setups are the far more desirable parts. The rear wheel looks to be in pretty good shape, actually. The rear brake is there, which is the primary concern. Obviously, the fender is just completely, or the quarter panel is just completely trash. I don't even think that that one is usable in any way, shape, or form. Going over to the passenger side, this one has damage at the upper rear there, as you can see. But I could imagine that somebody would probably fix this side. We've sold them damage before because these things are relatively expensive. You can sell it pretty cheap for local pickup, and there's usually somebody that wants to do this conversion that's like a body person that is just willing to put the effort in for a dirt cheap one versus buying a brand new OEM one or even a used set from us, because we sell them complete with the wheelhouses and everything, and those parts aren't available from the dealer, so we can charge a premium for them. So the rear end conversion on these cars for the wide body is pretty expensive. Everything else in the rear, though, as I said, is just pretty much completely trashed. The wheel on this side looks good. The brake on this side looks good. But obviously just massive, massive damage, although the mufflers amazingly look like they may have survived. Over here to the front end, the door looks to be fine. Mirror looks to be fine. This fender looks pretty good, but then you get up to the headlight and the bumper. It's kind of hard to tell. It looks like the headlight is just a lens. I don't know how desirable Inferno Orange headlights are. This is, by far the best color that this car was made in. If you think differently, you can comment down below, and I'll be happy to tell you why you're wrong. Because Inferno Orange in a wide body C6, by far the best color that a Corvette was ever made. The front bumper, getting back to the damage here, more on this side, looks like just scuffs though, because it has the nose insert like the Z06s. These bumpers sell very, very quickly, and they are very, very valuable. The brake here on this side looks to be pretty good. The interior, because this is a 2012, this has the updated seats with the high shoulder bolsters. Normally tan is not as desirable, so this stuff will probably take a little bit longer to sell, but having the updated seats makes them much more desirable than the early models. And then you have plenty of stuff in the interior, like the steering wheel, because it's a 2012, like the carbon fiber trim on it. Very, very in demand. 54,000 miles. You can see it's running. It's got good oil pressure. That's always good to see. This being a car that is just kind of a normal run-of-the-mill car, we definitely want to look and make sure that there's nothing interesting going on with the auction history on this car. I already have it pulled up here. Let's take a look. There's nothing. Okay, that alleviates that concern. Let's hop back over to Copart. We are at a $6,300 bid right now. I am hopeful this time of year, in between Christmas and New Year's, is always a very interesting time to buy cars. There's a lot of people that are off work. There's a lot of people that take time with their family off the holidays. And I think my perception is that there's a lot of insurance companies that are looking to just offload a lot of, I guess, maybe old inventory. So you see a lot more pure sale cars, which is what this car is. I am optimistic that we can get this car for a reasonable number. The bid right now is $6,400. I'm thinking 8,500 is probably about as high as we're gonna go on it, but I'm hoping that it might go for considerably less than that. Alrighty, here we go. Yep, there was no minimum bid. Somebody in Ohio going at this thing. Kentucky. Man, somebody had some pre-bids here.
This is a hot lot.
Well, it appears my strategy might not be paying out here. All right, well, let's see, one more. Okay. One more. All right, I think that's it.
Bonus time.
You guys think I should hit him with a bonus time extra bid just to like tick him off? Come on. All right, we're done. We're done. All right.
The seller has released the minimum bid.
Well, that definitely did not work out exactly as I was planning. Again, I was kind of hopeful that, you know, we'd be able to kind of sneak in and grab that thing, and it just didn't happen. And that's kind of how it goes sometimes. I laid out in the last NSX video that I did that a lot of these cars I'm not actually bidding on. We've gone in and got a couple of them. The one NSX, the black NSX, we won the bid, but we weren't able to win it. So I'm going to try and mix in some of the more normal cars that we buy so you guys can actually see some of us just buying some of these cars. I thought that that was going to be a good example of one, and it was just a really good thumbnail car, but it just didn't work out, which is how it goes sometimes. Unfortunately, the auction scene, a lot of people, you know, kind of see the glamour, you know what I mean? We post up on the Leasy Parts Instagram and you see a lot of the cool cars that we buy, but we watch so many other vehicles that we aren't able to buy because the price isn't right. And given our inventory right now, we're stocked full of cars because, again, this time of year, we get a lot of cars that go for deals. So we were able to pick up a lot of stuff, just none of them are really that glamorous. You know, the run-of-the-mill Camaro, CTSV, things along those lines that, you know, just aren't super video worthy. But I am going to do a normal car because I want to get a video of us actually buying one, bidding on it, the whole process, so you can kind of see how we do that. So hopefully you enjoyed going through, looking at this Corvette though. Again, I've been doing a lot of these auction analysis videos. I've been having a lot of fun with them, and I've been getting great interaction down in the comments. There's a lot of people that watch the channel that have just really good auction insight, whether they have done it professionally in the past or if they do it kind of passively as a, you know, a side hustle kind of hobby. A lot of good interaction down in the comments. So let me know what you think about the price on that C6. Maybe I should have gone a little bit more. What do you guys think? Let me know down in the comment section, and I'll see you in the next video.